Good morning, Gills fans, and welcome back to Gills in the Blood TV. I am flying solo this morning for our Gillingham versus MK Dons preview. We travel to the Stadium MK tomorrow. We've got the local paper again. We'll have a look through that in a sec. We travel up there on the back of 3 scoreless games, 2 in the league and obviously 1 in the EFL Cup. And our opponents have yet to score in Sky Bet League 1 as well. So all things point towards an absolute board draw at the moment. So no, I don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, both teams haven't scored in the league yet, so you know that there are more goals in the game tomorrow. Let's have a look at the local paper. We've got Thursday's Medway Messenger back page headline. You can see it, there's Gills signed Nugent. We bought in Ben Nugent, the centre half who was at Crewe last season. He's coming on a 1-year deal, I believe, 24 years old. Left-footed, big lump again, about 6'5". Described himself as just an out-and-out defender. AD seems pleased with that, says that he's going to give them more options, thinks we're a bit short in that area. He also played 12 games for Cardiff. Nugent, the season they won the championship to get promoted into the Premier League back in 2012-13, so there's some pedigree there. He's had some loan spells in the bottom half of the Football League, so he's got good experience in terms of game time. Obviously some fans will point to the fact that he was playing in League 2 again last season, and that's what we're building apparently according to some League 2 side. But on the face of it, obviously I don't know a great deal about him, but he seems to fit the bill of what we need again. Yesterday, obviously, there was a bit more news. We brought in Steve Arnold, a goalkeeper, on a 1-year deal, who was at Forest Green and Dover previously, I believe. He has very much divided opinion amongst Gillingham fans. It is a weird one when we're not scoring goals in our first 3 games, and we brought in another defender and another goalkeeper. We've now got 4 on the books, so it all points towards Arnold potentially challenging Thomas Holy, and I'm sure Tom Hadler will be now sent on loan somewhere. Stuart Nelson, it seems, is done at the football club, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on your opinion on that. But 4 goalkeepers is clearly too many, so I'm sure 1 or 2 at least will be shifted out. Another little bit on the back of the paper is AD, there's no quick fix. Just basically explaining that obviously with a new side, it could take time, but all the signs he thinks are encouraging. He mentions we haven't got endless resources, and we can't go out and get players on 6-7 grand a week that others are doing in our league. There are clubs in this league who, in my opinion, are gambling on their futures. We have a good steady ship here. I know what the budget is. We are building gradually, and as long as people can see improvement, that is important. The players can see it, and that is why they are jumping on the ship. That is what it is all about, and the supporters can see it. Inside, there's a column, The Shouting Men, with Alex Lacey this week, who just said he's glad to be back fit. He's a little bit behind everyone, obviously, because he only played 45 minutes in pre-season before picking up a knee problem. But he said generally he's quite fit, so it shouldn't take him too long to get up to full speed. And the only reason he come off, which was already confirmed last week, was because of the fact that he was starting to cramp up and he didn't want to risk tweaking a muscle or pulling a muscle. In terms of team news for us, obviously I suppose Steve Arnold and Ben Nugent both come into the reckoning straight away. Aaron Morris and Bradley Garnston are clearly still out. Connor Wilkinson, it's been confirmed now, we are not appealing his ban, contrary to what AD said at the beginning of the week. Apparently he spoke to an assessor who was adamant that it would not get turned over, and the risk then would be that we would incur an extra match for Connor, so the 3-game ban he's going to have to swallow. And one that's we're not sure is Billy Bingham. There's a little piece from AD in the paper that says Bingham's injury was still described as tender in the early part of this week, and he wasn't involved as Gills held an in-house practice game on Tuesday. With Billy, we'll see how it goes. So I think it'll just be a case of maybe finding out later today or tomorrow. But it looks like Billy Bingham is still quite a big doubt. Touched on Connor's red card, so that's done. Obviously, last season we know what happened at MK Dons. We were pretty poor for the first hour and trailed by 2 goals, and then fought back with goals through Cody McDonald and Josh Wright after his penalty had been saved, only to then mismanage the game for the final 20 seconds. And there was a lot of anger, frustration, whatever you want to call it, directed at 2 or 3 of our players after that game. I think Thomas Holy, Max Amar and the now departed Zesh Raymond all come in for some stick for the 3rd MK Dons goal in the last sort of 3 seconds or whatever it was. Holy for coming for a cross he should never have come for, and then Zesh and Max for seemingly not trying to clear the ball off the line, but it's gone. We all know what happened. Aidie's adamant that we can't have a repeat of it. He says, that took the stuffing out of me, I must admit. We got it back to 2-2 and we just didn't manage the game properly. We've done ever so well to get back to 2-2. That was one of those games where you look back on and think, wow, what happened there? But that was last season. We have to look forward now, put in a good performance on Saturday and go for the 3 points. He then goes on to say that he believes his side are a different animal to the one that was there last season. And then there's just a brief piece about Bradford, which we've already spoken about, how he thought the key decisions all went against us, unfortunately. In terms of their team news, I've not really seen a lot, I'm not going to lie, so we don't know what's going on there. We know they brought in the lad from Hearts this week, striker, which is Osman Sow, who looks a decent player up there. He scored 23 times last season in all competitions for Hearts, so he'll have a decent amount of pedigree. Other players to maybe look out for, Kieran Agard's a good player at this level. He scored 14 in 39 last season in League One, so they're going to know what he's all about. He's all pace and power. One I'm interested in, another one is a centre-half that they've got on loan from Wolves, who played nearly 30 times last season at this level for Sheffield United as they won the Championship. That's Ethan Lendl. He looks a very good prospect. He's on loan for the season, it seems. So there's 3 that I'm going to pick out for them, that would be a danger to us. In terms of a team, I think it pretty much picks itself. So I think Thomas Holy will start in goal. Gabriel Zakwani and Alex Lacey should start. The only one I'm not sure in that back 3 could be whether Luke O'Neill tucks back in and we drop Max Amor out, or whether the new signing comes in, Ben Nugent. I would imagine that Conor Ogilvie will stay on the left-hand side. In the midfield, Mark Byrne and Lee Martin, I'm sure will keep their place. If Billy Bingham's available, he might come in for Josh Wright. And then the other toss-up would be the right-hand side. If Scott Wagstaff comes back in on there, then we could make a little change. And up top, I think I'd go with myself personally. I'd like to see Tom Eaves paired with Liam Nash. Tom Eaves has impressed me all in pre-season, scored some goals. He was unlucky last week, just drifted offside at a key time. Otherwise, he'd have nicked us a point. And I thought Liam Nash offered a lot in a very small space of time. He was unlucky with one half chance headed over the bar. He was bright, tricky, won us a couple of free kicks, and I think it was from the second one where we nearly got the equaliser that was sadly ruled out for full time. In terms of a prediction, I'm going to stick to what I said at the beginning of the month in my monthly predictions, and that is a 0-0 draw. Obviously, I'd like if we could go and pinch all 3 points now, because obviously we got beat at home last week. We do need to get up and running as soon as possible in terms of wins, but I wouldn't be disappointed too much with the 0-0. Yeah, so that's pretty much it from me today. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Please keep doing the usual. Check us out on Instagram and on Facebook, and until next time, up the Gills.